Welcome, YouTube, to another segment of Anime Mondays. This is your host, The Geek Life, as always, keeping everybody's life geeky. Today, we got an interesting segment for you. Since the season 4 of Attack on Titan anime recently came to a conclusion, we're going to be taking
Part
a look at
one.
part 1. Yeah, we'll be taking a look at some of the predictions of what we think the next season will entail in terms of what might happen, if there's anything that might be different or similar from the manga, things like that. So before we get jumping into that, let's take a minute to remember. Don't forget to comment below, hit that subscribe and that like button. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So starting off with what I think might start the season off is kind of like a little bit of a continuation on the last couple of episodes. So we saw a bit of a I'm not sure if you want to call it like a coup d'etat or something like that. But so I think we'll probably start to see more of that, and how I think that's probably gonna be dealt with is I think the first part is probably gonna deal with um, how and what does Aaron Yeager do now that he's on top of that roof and he's more or less 1v2 in a few other Titans. Was, lest we not forget where we left off, Aaron was pretty much just barely dodging an attack from the Jaw Titan, and we also see the Cart Titan there as well. Of course, she hasn't transformed yet, but I think the first thing we'll see is just how does that battle arranges itself. We see that Aaron immediately goes into his attack Titan, but does he stay in that attack Titan form, or does he somehow switch to the Warhammer Titan at some point? And not only that, but in that meantime of the destruction of the castle and everything, how does that affect his friends or former friends in terms of Armin and Mikasa? Or do they somehow get out of the jail and the whole commotion? And if they do, exactly what side do they take in this ensuing battle between Eren and the other two Titans? Or should I say, yeah, and these two Titans, as well as does Rainer jump into the battle and make it a 1v3 battle, or does he sit back a little bit and let the Jaw Titan maybe soften up Eren for a little bit?
All right. So without looking at spoilers, um, based off of where they ended the season, probably for production issues. I don't know if they always planned for part two to come out like that or were there production issues because Attack on Titan is plagued with production issues. Surprise, surprise. But um, we know we're gonna have Aaron versus Reiner versus Pieck versus the Jaw Titan. I forgot who currently
Galliard?
though. Galliard. So it's gonna be a 3-on-1. I don't know if Aaron has a separate Titan form or if he just has the powers of the Warhammer Titan now. So the ability to do I guess long range hardening, which I mean is gonna be helpful. But he's gonna have a also fighting the blimps, the airships they have, and there's like 3 or 5. I don't remember how many, but that's we saw Reiner at the beginning of season one almost get taken out by a few good tanks and a few like machine guns because that's how far technology has advanced. Um, so it's not going to be an easy battle for Aaron, and if anything, it's probably going to look pretty hopeless. I'm sure his friends will get out eventually because the whole thing's under attack, and they're going to help Aaron, of course. Um, I think the whole goal is um, because of where this is. Somehow, I don't know if I don't know how it's going to come to it. I don't think there's an easy conclusion. Either like one side's probably going to get wiped out completely, like Reiner and his people get taken out. Maybe Aaron and Zeke meet up and start the rumbling, or maybe Aaron gets taken captive, or maybe he gets eaten. I mean, that is a possibility, but I have a feeling that that's probably not going to happen. So I think most likely we're going to see Zeke, who was sitting in the belly of a Titan after getting blown up. But and so what that leads me to believe though is that Zeke and Aaron are going to come together, but I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. If the show ended at season 1, part 1, then I think the Zeke's plan would have gone into motion to stop the children being born by Eldians. But I think that Aaron's probably going to come in contact with Zeke, and he's probably not going to go along with Zeke, or they just would have ended the show. It would have been very easy. So maybe that's the halfway point, because this is a battle. I don't know if there's any Attack on Titan battle that's gone, beyond 6 or 7 episodes. So I don't see it taking the whole season.
More than likely not. And then, while we're on the subject of the Titans, the other thing is I have a feeling that somehow or another Annie's gonna get out of her crystallized state. Um, of course, the easiest way of saying that is somehow the Jaw Titan either willingly frees her, or like Aaron or somebody forces the Jaw Titan to free her. So I really think that somehow or another she is going to be free. And what I'm curious to see is once she gets caught up to speed with what all is happening, what side is she going to take? Is she going to be standing next to Marley like she did beforehand? Is she going to switch sides to Eldia, or is she just going to be some sort of neutral rogue party or something like that?
I don't know if we're gonna see much of her during this battle, because I feel like if she's free, she's going to help Marley, and that'd be too many people for Aaron to take out truthfully.
Yeah.
Um,
Even
Even Aaron and Zeke, because you know, as we learned, the Beast Titan isn't really a combative Titan. He's just
eh,
good at throwing stuff. And
if anything, the
Aaron,
Beast Titan is more of a long range fighter.
yeah, he's just good at throwing stuff. That's his one thing. Um, so I feel like after the battle, somehow she'll be freed. Maybe they, I don't know. Maybe during it, the Jaw Titan finds. I mean, I don't even know if they can, you know, find her easily. Um, who knows? um, do you think so? This is one of my predictions. I was like, is there a chance that Falco eats Aaron or eats Reiner, since he has Zeke's spinal fluid in him now? So it seems like more than likely he's going to end up getting turned into a Titan, especially if Zeke is on the way in that area. So it seems like again I thought he was going to possess the or not the colossal, but the armor Titan, so Gabby wouldn't have to. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Hmm.
Maybe we see the end of Rainer. Rainer.
That
Um,
could very well be the case, and and if and if not Reiner, then maybe Galliard or somebody, whoever happens to fall in one of these upcoming battles. But the more likely candidate is probably Reiner.
that's fair. I mean, maybe the other ones, but I feel like Falco will have a biggish role. Just or maybe that's me falling a little bit into the trap of looking too much into the ending of season 4, part 1, because it shows Falco holding the light, and it kind of focused on his viewpoint. Um, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So here's a question though, and what do you think about Aaron's motivations?
Um, so I think when it comes to his motivations, I think to a degree he still has the same goals in mind from season one in terms of he wants to eliminate all the Titans, but he's just gonna go about it a different way now that he has all that streaming memories and whatnot flowing through his head now. So it so the only question that I'm pondering about is if he's actually going to go through with the rumbling or not. All
Do
right.
you remember? Do you remember there was an episode I think in season three, um, part one, where they discussed well, Carla, Aaron's mom, was discussing why Aaron was special. He's special because he was what, born into this world or something like that. Do you remember that?
Not off the top of my head.
Um, this is after Aaron kind of had a breakdown, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not that special. I'm not." He thought that he was a mythical being, and in reality, he's not. He's just a human being that got his Titan power from his father that did really horrendous things. But it was, what's his name, Hines, the instructor,
Mm-hmm.
was talking to his mom because I don't know if you remember, Hines had a crush on Carla,
Yep.
um, but she was like, "Well, what, something about what about the." I don't know how they got in a conversation, but she was like, "He's special because he was born into this world." All right, and I don't feel like they would have an episode like that, and then Aaron's going to be like, "Well, I've decided that people shouldn't be born anymore." He's always. Do you remember what he said at the end of season three? He was like, "Maybe if we kill everyone out there, maybe we'll finally be free."
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would he go and take out his own people then? They
So,
had the flashback at the when they had made the railroad, like back in episode 9 or so, and he was like, "I'd do anything for y'all." Effectively, you remember that? He
yeah.
wants to protect them more than anything. So why is he going to go out his way to make sure that none of them can have children again?
Uh, Unless he's putting up a front in front of some folks, which could very well be the case, as that's a pretty common trope in not only shonen but real life. It's like, yeah, we thought we knew you your entire life, but you're saying all these things to make us think like you're full on 100% the enemy when while in reality you're actually like some sort of double agent, and you're just saying that stuff to getting good with somebody so you can find out more of their plan or something like that, or have a better chance of assassinating them or something like that.
Oh, I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
And I think it's more or less extremely clear that his motivations aren't completely transparent to us because as I mentioned in one of the last episodes, we aren't really behind his point of view for the first time, right? We're kind of seeing him from the outside in and trying to play catch up, and even then we don't really get to hear his inner monologue or dialogue. But I'm I think it's clear that he's going to activate the rumbling, and then after that, I don't know how the show's going to end. Because I think the thing with Attack on Titan, it's such a up to this point, it's been so narrative driven. There's been a lot of twists and turns. There's been a lot of seeds that have been planted that have bloomed. Even like you remember Ymir, when
Hmm.
Ymir first saw the Beast Titan, she was like, "That's a monkey," and Aaron was like, he had no idea what a monkey was, right? He was like, because they never saw a monkey before. Ymir could read the Kens, you know, that weren't of that language. The coffee, you know, you, when Armin found the coffee, he was like, "This is some strange tea." They planted clues the entire time about things that were going to happen in the future. And my question is, how are they going to wrap all that up after the rumbling happens? I I think it's clear that he already knows his friends aren't going to be okay with him trying to destroy the rest of the world. So maybe it's going to be them trying to stop Aaron from killing everybody.
Wh- Which, considering Aaron's ever so increase in power, that's becoming more and more dangerous and more difficult.
Yeah, he already pushed Mikasa and Armin away, so who's left to stop him? Maybe Historia. They've been having like real conversations.
Maybe. As you can tell now, not a lot of people can beat Aaron in a straight up fight anymore. To
At least
really
not by
have a
himself.
to really have much of a chance against Aaron, you need either a whole lot of the anti-Titan weapons, or you need to have just about every other Titan of the Nine fighting on the same team to have a good chance.
So, do you think we're gonna see more of Historia?
Yeah, I definitely think that we will see more of Historia, and the thing that I'm pondering about is will we actually get to see Historia go into a Titan and eat what's his face Zeke in the time coming? Because we know that Zeke has just under a year left of his
Yep.
term, and Historia, from that one scene that we saw, she's already sporting the baby bump, which means it's not it hasn't been only a couple of weeks, it's been a few months at least, which
Yep.
leads me to believe that there's likely at least a couple months or so between a birth of a baby and when Zeke's final days are upon him. So that makes me think that there is still that chance of, hey, we could go down this route of Historia. We're going to turn you into a Titan and have you eat Zeke, so you're now the new, not only new Beast Titan, but a Titan of the Nine with royal blood to be able to control people.
So I'm intrigued because again, what they did with Historia's arc in season 3, part 1 was surprised. I did not think she was going to be that important of a character, and we didn't see a lot of her outside of the fact that we understand that she's pregnant,
Yeah.
and we understand that Aaron wants to make sure that the military doesn't use her. So maybe they've been in communication. Maybe they've been working together behind the scenes. Um, which is weird because again, it's weird that he will push away Armin and Mikasa, but work with Historia. But maybe so. I mean, because they, who knows what happened when they touched hands and you saw all the craziness. When Aaron saw whatever he saw,
Yeah.
which ultimately led to the new personality that he has today. So,
Which is quite the interesting personality, to say the least.
but I guess I have one more question for you. Do you think Reiner will survive this season or this shit, I guess the whole story? Or will he die in a horrible, evil way?
Um, hmm. That's a tough question because on one hand, I think Reiner's about to jump off that blimp, go full armor titan, and probably get the snot knock out of him. But another part of me is thinking that he's going to have some sort of uh, character redemption arc type of thing.
Oh, how would they do a character redemption arc?
I
They're all gonna team up together?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
We're all one big family. We're sorry. We forgive you, Reiner.
Yeah, and so it could
I
go
mean,
either way.
yeah.
But if they do go down that route of like a character redemption arc or something of that similarity, then I think it'll probably be done maybe along the lines of he remembers those few years he was in Eldia, and he's like, oh my gosh, y'all were actually my friends. Why am I doing this type of thing? Or something of that nature.
Well, I mean, at this point, they're only there. They're just there to stop the rumbling from happening. They're worried about Aaron going homicidal on everything.
Hmm.
Which, to be fair, it makes sense because as soon as they declare war on Paradise Island, Aaron attacked them all.
Yep, and when it comes to that, I think Marley has some sort of plan in mind, because I don't think that they're foolish enough to attack Aaron, knowing that he has both the Attack Titan and the Warhammer Titan without some sort of plan, because those are two of the more powerful Titans of the nine.
If you remember what Reiner pushed them to act more quickly, because initially they were going to wait a few months, and he was like, "We don't really have a few months."
Yeah.
So who knows how prepared they are? I mean, they're going to have guns, and we haven't seen Aaron deal with too many guns as of yet.
Mhm.
And his friends are locked up again, so it's going to be Aaron for the most part versus everybody, or Aaron and Zeke.
But who knows? Aaron might have learned quite a deal about guns living in Marley for that time.
I mean, you can learn a lot, but if you have like five or different points of fire, all coming at you, there's only so much you could do. He's not Sonic the Hedgehog.
True, he isn't Sonic the Hedgehog, although partially because that position is already taken.
So do you think Levi is alive?
Oh yeah, I think Levi's alive for sure.
Wow. You say that so you're like, I know he's good. He's
Yeah,
good.
Levi's too much of a badass not to go out like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, now,
what the anime trope, if they died off screen, they didn't die.
yeah, yeah, like you said, if you don't see a body, then are they really
That's
dead?
clear. So I have tried to avoid the manga spoilers, but apparently the manga's over now, and there was a lot of mixed receptions. So hopefully this show does not let us down, because this show has been a long since like 2013. I don't know when it started initially,
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm hoping it doesn't break my heart. And again, I'm what it means to break my heart. I mean, if Aaron kills everybody, even if the people of Paradise Island get wiped out, I don't know if that would break my heart. If they somehow butchered the story, I think I'd be offended. Um, I don't even know how they could end it badly though. What's the worst case scenario? I don't know. I don't know how the ending's gonna look.
hmm Although for some odd reason, I feel like regardless of what happens, for somehow or another, the Nine Titans will somehow like dissipate. So like that curse of the 13 years will be no more. Like I
I mean,
think,
Aaron wanted to kill all Titans, so that's fair.
yeah, I think that's
Get
a
rid of all of them.
yeah, I definitely think that's a given. It's just which route are they going to take to get to that?
I do think Aaron's primary goal is to protect Paradise Island and to get rid of all Titans. But
hmm
Titans are the only thing that protects them from the rest of the world. So who knows? They got a paradox to handle. We'll see. Are we gonna see? I mean, I don't know what else we have. I don't think Marley's gonna be the big baddie, because if they lose this battle, then what's left for Marley though? Not much.
Not
What are they
really.
gonna do? So who do you think the big baddie is gonna be? It's probably gonna be Aaron, then.
That very well could be.
Because I mean, we already saw him go at or the maybe we'll see civil war on Paradise Island,
hmm
or maybe we'll see the other nations of the world fight. Like maybe shortly after, everybody else comes and starts trying to blow up the entire island.
That very well could be the case. And that also has me thinking is one thing I know for sure is at some point or another, somewhere in that world, Armin's gonna do another transformation.
But if you remember, like, aren't aren't there a bunch of colossal titans in the walls anyway?
There are, yeah, but I
I
feel
mean,
like
well, he could transform with the rest of them then.
at some point or another, Armin's gonna need to transform into the Colossal Titan to solve some issue or another. Either solve an issue or attempt to combat Aaron or something. He might
I'm
not
sure
do. He might not
Aaron
do it in the
versus.
middle of the city, but I think it's coming.
Are we gonna get an Attack Titan versus Colossal Titan?
Could be the case. Although it would be hilarious to see that happen, like a Aaron Attack Titan versus Armin Colossal Titan with Reiner around there to give him that
Why
bit of
not?
reflection in terms of
I don't know.
you know. But
I mean, maybe as the flipping, the Warhammer Titan, he could just like easily cut off the Colossal Titan's legs. And I like I wish that on Armin because I like Armin a lot. I don't. I mean, I don't know where they're gonna go with their character. I'm intrigued to see what they do with Mikasa's character.
mhm,
I feel like he's lying about Mikasa. He just said that because he wants to put some distance between them because he's about to do really bad things.
yeah, yeah, I think so too. Like, there's no denying that. Like, for over 3 seasons, we've always known Aaron as, if nothing else, I just want to protect Armin and Mikasa. I don't think he's going to go back on that.
No, even people in the past were talking. If you want to save Armin and Mikasa, then you have to go and you know that's what's his name Kruger said to his father.
hmm
So we know it's very important there.
Yep. So like I said, like you said, I think Aaron's just going about all this stuff to more or less protect those two from what's coming.
Yep.
That
I
doesn't
guess
mean that
that's
they
all of
won't
them.
get involved, but he's doing what he thinks is right to protect those two.
And maybe he is right because otherwise the Flip Paradise Island would have waited until they all got wiped off the face of the planet.
Yep.
But that's all for my prediction.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's all from mine as well. I think for the most part, that's what I think will happen, and there very well could be something that we didn't think about that could happen. Who knows? But I think for the most part, it will be one of these cases that that will occur.
I agree.
Mhm. And and I think there's going to be a lot more conflict and a lot more like fighting in this season than last season. This last season, for the most part, it was just like
Pretty
that.
calm.
It was pretty calm, with the exception of that episode and a half or so in Marley.
Yeah, I mean, I just the question is who are they going to be fighting?
Yep, and and I guess to we'll have to wait and see until part two comes out at some point in the future.
Probably January of 2022. So that's probably a good 7.5 months away,
Something like that.
for
Which I
better or
wouldn't
for worse.
which I wouldn't be surprised.
That's when I guess season 4, part 1 started in January of 2021. So that sounds about right. And I mentioned that I think production issues is the reason why it got split up in the first place. They always have production issues.
Yeah. Something that's an unfortunate thing that we as viewers have to deal with.
Yeah. But that is, that's a wrap for a little while on Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to want to read the manga for some reason and discuss that. But it's time to move on to newer anime.
Yes, indeed. So, so with further ado, make sure make sure y'all definitely comment below in terms of what y'all think is actually going to be animated in the next segment of Attack on Titan. We would definitely love to hear from y'all and just see what's going to be happening. So definitely post that down below. And and for next time, we definitely have a few good things coming y'all's way. Starting a few good anime. Um, what do you think we should enjoy dropping on our viewers next? on Anime Mondays.
Always.
And
Enjoy your week.
yes, indeed, enjoy your week. And as always, keep your life geeky.